at our flyway pattern and also how we're sharing these objects between the renderers, and we're going to fix some of it. So, again, sorry for jumping around. Let's make this guy static. Or actually, no, I'm sorry. We'll do this. Our command parser, we're going to place inside of our parse strategy. And anyone who told you that decoupling dependencies and rearchitecting things wasn't fun was lying to you. Okay. So we have all these things inside of our to go ahead and kind of shortcut, which is fine, I think. But they really have no place in our parse strategy, so we got to figure out a different place for these. And this guy goes away. So, Mystical Puka says, I was just watching some of your old videos on YouTube earlier today. Huh, well, how about that? I'm glad. I'm still working on all the organization, but hopefully there's some good stuff there. You caught us just really deep in the weeds over here. We are applying a singleton, wrapping things up to talk to a TCP server. We're refactoring some things to decouple them, and we're really seeing how we want to make this a multi-user game. Mystical Puka says, although the factory ones seem to be muted the whole time, not sure. I'm going to blame that on the very first stream I ever did and having to get over a lot of learning bumbles. But I want to go back and kind of redo all of those and really start to structure it. So apologies for that, but hopefully it was the first pattern and you can still follow along with the code and stuff. And hopefully the other videos kind of really reinforced what was happening there. Okay, so we've hit our hour mark, but tomorrow I'd love to come back and really wrap up this refactoring. So we're really treating ourselves like adults now. And the first semester of this, we were going through katas, we were going through some basics, we were doing a little hand-holding. Now we're really looking at what we can call legacy code. And we're decoupling things, we're ripping things apart. We're really, when you see all this code, it should be gratifying to chew through it. So tomorrow what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we're giving everything we need in the game request to the hive mind, and the hive mind is giving us everything we need back. And to give a quick, because we're going to need quite a bit of this, and we're not going to be able to really pass it in because we don't know it. We're going to know the sender, we're going to know the action, and presumably we'll know the target, maybe. Alright, so let's leave it there. And I hate to leave it with a bunch of red, so let's see what we can do about that. Okay. Doja Green asks, are you making a mud? We are. For our last sprint, we've got all the way up to having this very basic game we could play, and we demoed it at the beginning of this video. And now we're tying this all to a TCP server and stripping out a lot of the dependencies so that the client can really just be a dumb client. Mystical Puka says, just need to know what to research maybe tonight. I have to create a magic item and I have no idea what I need to do without creating sloppy code. I did it before with a big old global method, but I wanted to try to use a pattern that may work better. Just not sure which pattern will fall under. I'm really curious, Mystical Puka. I'll check out your channel. If you post to watch people code whenever you come online, and I'll subscribe to you. Maybe we can bounce heads and see what's up. And Doja Green says, I used to play God Wars Apocalypse. Not familiar. I was just a major mud guy and some door games. But yeah, man, I think this is just a great example of being able not only learn all the various design patterns with C#, but also give some throwbacks to nostalgia. All right, so let's make sure all our red squigglies are gone. And so here's a great example. In our game response, we're getting back the request was successful, message and amount. And we actually need a whole lot more than that now. So let's go back over to our, this guy. So we really need to be able to pass in the game request just the sender, the target, how to do this. We're going to go for a few more minutes because I don't want to leave all this red code in here. And I think that if we just kind of stoke our brains a little bit, we can definitely figure it out. I think here we're going to want to just send back we don't want the room, so man, we're just going to make a bigger mess, but that's okay. Sometimes making a mess is just what you got to do. We want to reprint the room content, I think, in our response. because the issue we're going to fall into here is we're passing the string command, but we don't have a local version of the hive mind anymore. We need to figure out some way to maintain an understanding of what our room looks like and where we are. This is tricky. While I think about that for a second, let's read the chat. Doja Green says that and Mudzar, the expletive deleted still. I completely, I can't agree enough, and I think text is making a big comeback. Mystical Poker apologizes for tossing a big old rant in the chat. Essentially, he's got a problem that's very similar to what we did in our attributes for items, being able to say that this has as a +2 property. If I remember correctly, his problem is a little bit different. It's more of an EAV problem, so an entity attribute value problem in terms of how the tables are stored. Actually a really interesting space, but so the same but different, right? And so again, games are great because you run into all these kind of what would be kind of complicated programming topics that you might not otherwise experience as a junior or intermediate developer, and they're just thrown in your face, day one with games. Okay, so we're still staring at this thing. And this is going to be a problem I think you're running with any game where you say, hey, only the server should really know, where you are and what you're doing. We have to give you enough information to render a representation of that for yourself. So if I get back a response and it has room content, is that enough for me to, I'm sorry, I also want to get back the player. So if I got back the room content and the player, would that be enough for me to then draw the room and have what I need? I think it would. I could draw myself in relation to that room. I could draw everything that's in that room in accordance with the server. I think that might handle everything we need to process our render. So here we'd say game response dot, oops. Man, and this, oh, I spelled it wrong. Hold on. Okay, so today, spelling is not my strong suit. There we go. Okay. So, if I just ensure that when the hive mind comes back to me, that I've got a player in addition to my room content, I should be good to go. Doja Green says, I'll catch you later. Followed me, which thank you. Check back, glad to see some mud love. Yeah, I've been trying to shake that mud love for years. At some point you got to say to yourself, I was born in the BBS era, and that's just who I am. I keep it 100.